Wow. Wow. That was amazing. That was brilliant. England beat Mexico at the Azteca. That was just fantastic. Like, that is one of the best England performances of recent times for me. That was a very, very convincing performance. Now, obviously, it's irrelevant now, but in the game against the Congo, I thought that England were a bit lacklustre, but in this game, ruthless. Very, very good performance, and it makes you now think, do England have the opportunity to go and do something special? Obviously, it's been 60 years since England have won a World Cup, but this year, it could really be it. We have beaten Mexico against all odds at the Azteca. You know, facing high altitude, facing one of the best teams at the tournament so far, a team who hadn't yet conceded a goal before facing England, and then conceded 3 all at once. Now, we were against it. We had 10 men for the majority of the game after Joao Kwanzaa's sending off. We had a penalty given against us. Obviously, bear in mind we did get a penalty ourselves, but we had a penalty given against us, which was scored by Raul Jimenez. Very good penalty. But we had Kane. We had Jude Bellingham. 2 goals in the space of almost a minute. He is world class. He has been fabulous for us at this tournament so far, and he will continue to be fabulous. The Azteca is just such an amazing stadium. I would love to go there one day for a game like this one. But that match last night, that was unforgettable. That was a match that, if we win this tournament, we're going to remember for centuries. Like, I'll be telling my children about this. I'll be telling my grandchildren about this. Possibly great-grandchildren about this game. It's one of those games where if we go on to win this tournament, it'll be talked about for many, many years. Many years. And it was just one of those performances where it was probably one of England's best performances at a World Cup in a long while. And that was very convincing. Very convincing. I was nervous going into the game. I was like, it's at high altitude. Like, they brought it up on a graphic on BBC Sport that the only thing taller than the altitude, the only thing higher than the altitude of the Azteca is like 1,000 Dan Burns. And Wembley is lower than it's very windy out here, but Wembley is lower than the altitude of the Azteca, and we were at very high altitude, and obviously with high altitude it was going to be very difficult, and we had Mexican fans making all the noise possible to stop England players from sleeping and setting fireworks off, banging on drums, but that didn't stop us. We were still absolutely brilliant in this game. And credit to the Mexico fans, by the way. I see a video online of Mexico fans clapping the England fans. That's brilliant to see. But yeah, they were really good in this game. I want to go into Mexico. We've had to move seats. I literally can't, from where I was sat, I couldn't see my phone. So we have moved seats, but England have beaten Mexico at the Azteca, which was going to be an enormous ask, considering you have to take into account the altitude of the Azteca. I know it's been online discourse for almost 2 days on the internet about the altitude of the Azteca, but it had to be something we take into consideration, considering that we don't play in that sort of, that sort of stadium where it's hard to run and there's going to be slower recovery pace. But we managed to do it. And considering we don't normally play in these sort of stadiums where it's high altitude and like 1,000,000 metres above sea level, it's quite impressive, in my opinion. It's really quite impressive, the fact that we've been able to do this. We've been able to beat Mexico at the Azteca. England, we've been able to beat Mexico at the Azteca, a stadium they haven't lost at for over a decade. It's been a very long time since Mexico have lost at that stadium. They coming into this World Cup, they hadn't lost a game at that stadium for over a decade, and that continued up until this match, up until this very game. And it makes me think, like, obviously we say every single year, I'm not going to jump the gun yet. We're not going to jump the gun yet because there's still a couple more games to go, and there's still the likes of Spain and France in this tournament. So we could bump into one of those two at some point. But the next game is Norway in Miami on Saturday night. And I think we can beat them. I think we can. Obviously, their main threats are probably Antonio Nusa and Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, who hasn't stopped scoring for Norway yet in this tournament. But we've got Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. We've got Declan Rice. We've got John Stones. We've got Nico O'Reilly. I think we need to take into consideration that Norway, this game is going to be tough. But I don't think it will be as hard as the game against Mexico. By the way, I just want to give a bit of credit to Mexico. They played very well in this game. Very, very tough on England. And they were very, very good. It was tense. It was very tense. At the end, Mexico nearly went 3-3 with England, if you saw that. The ball literally, it was this close to going in, and it literally rolled past the post and out for an England goal kick or a Mexico corner, whichever one it was. But England have the opportunity this summer to keep it at 60 years since England last won a World Cup, and then it will be reset if we can do it. It would 2 stars above this. I mean, 1 star looks very nice, if you can see. 1 star looks very nice, but it would be a whole lot better if we had 2 stars above that, above this iconic crest. But yeah, England are through in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. I know we've said many times at tournaments, this is going to be the year. This year's going to be different. It's coming home. And I don't want to jump the gun too quickly because it could all... Egg could be splattered in our faces. The 3 Lions may be mauled. But I think this could be the year that England do something quite historic. This could be the year. This could be it. England look very up for it this tournament. And I think it could be the year. I think England could go home this summer with the Jules Rimet trophy. Is it the Jules Rimet trophy now, or was that the old World Cup trophy? I don't know. But yeah, England can do it. We can go to Miami. We can beat Norway. They've just beaten Brazil 2-1. But that Brazil squad is not a squad of old times Brazil. And Norway do have some very threatening players, but I think we've got more of a threat. I think they will be looking at us going, we need to stop England. Obviously, we also do need to see Norway as a threat as well. But we can beat Norway and we can go to the semi-finals. And then who do we face after that? Who knows? But yeah, one game at a time. One game at a time. Norway on Saturday night in Miami. Come on, boys. We've got this. And then it's the semi-finals. If you guys enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I will see you, lovely lot, in the next one. Please take care of your beautiful selves, and as always, peace out. See you in the next one, guys.